Hi, fashion dolls. It is Motivation Monday, December 12th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Girl, let's talk when black women speak. We're going to be touching on three topics today, and joining me, we have some fabulous ladies. From Power Book 3, Booking Raising Kanan, we have our girl Ro Underwood. We have from the Drip Entertainment, we have our girl Simone Jones. For Fashionista, Fashion Brand in the ATL, we have our girl Rikay. And also joining us, we have my girl Angela, who is the owner of Miss TJ Sauce. So we are five black women, five different opinions, five walks of life. And as you can see, I'm very festive in my holiday green for today. Special thanks to my girl Blue Haze. Hey, Phil. Phil Love, ladies and gentlemen, singer and songwriter, and we did an interview together. So this is going to be a very amazing conversation, and we hope you guys take something from this. So let me add my girls, because it's been so long since I've had a great girl talk. So welcome to Girl Let's Talk When Black Women Speak. Let me add my ladies.
That's right. Let me see. Let me see. Hey, hey, hey.
Hello. Hi, ladies.
Hi. Hello.
How are y'all doing?
Doing
Well,
well?
thank you so much. How are you?
Wonderful. It's great to see you again, Ro and
Yeah.
Simone. And my girl, Ricky, it's great to see all of y'all again.
Pleasure to be
Awesome.
here.
All right, ladies, we are here to have this discussion. We're going to be covering a number of things. And I know I'm not going to keep you all. Hopefully, Angela will be able to chime in sometime. But we're going to get right into it. Let's get right into it. Because as you guys can see, if you're watching, looking at the screen, you can see we are four shades of black women. We're not all the same. Black women, we come in an array of colors. So I wanted to touch on something. How many of you guys watch Real Housewives of Potomac? In the comments, let me know. How many of
Oh,
y'all
and the
watch Potomac?
comments.
Yes. Yeah, it can be on the panel or on the comments. I would like to know how many of you are watching Real Housewives of Potomac and
I
you're familiar with Dr.
definitely
Lynn.
watch it.
Okay. So you know where I'm going with this, Simone. Okay, here we go. So we see the conversation surrounding Dr. Wendy and Robin and Giselle and Mia. We've seen what happened in the last episode.
Yes.
So let's talk colorism. We know that this is a taboo topic in the black community, and me being transparent as a darker skinned sister, because I don't really talk about this when I'm doing my interviews. When me and Ro did our interview, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but we didn't get there. When I interview each and every one of these ladies on the panel, we've had our conversation, and I never really talked about it. So I'm just going to say it. Colorism is the byproduct of white supremacy, because if you look at it, the way they had us divided back in the day during the slavery era, it was lighter skin in the house, darker skin in the fields.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say the quiet part out loud because it's been in the black community and plaguing the black community for years, which is causing us to be divided. We have my girl Ro here to my right, this way, who's done shows like Raising Kanan, The Power Book 3, which is a big show on Stars owned by 50 Cent, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. And we see in Hollywood, the entertainment business, my girl Simone is also an actress and she has her company, The Drip Entertainment, as well too. And she's a talk show host as well. And both of these ladies, all three of us work in the entertainment business. Ro, my girl Rikay right here, up under me, she works in the fashion business with her brand Fashionista. So we see colorism in all forms in different ways. And the fashion world is different because Rikay, you know, we talked about it last time how in the modeling world, they want you to have a certain aesthetic. They want you to be the beauty standards back then were tall, blonde, and thin. But there would not be a woman, a male or woman on the runway, our complexion going down the runway. So colorism. We see it on television shows like Basketball Wives, and we seen the whole situation that happened with OG, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I'm gonna tell you a little bit more. I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper for those of you who are not understanding. That was a little bit of misogynoir because they labeled OG as aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
They labeled her as, oh, she's angry, she's bitter all the time.
Yes.
And there are women out here who can have, strong features like Serena Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I see the colorism and misogynoir with her as well too. And misogynoir is a term that is coined by Moya Bailey. A black woman created this term And this is where they try to make a woman feel less feminine with her features. I know I have strong features. I have thick legs, all of that, and so much more. And then some, and then some. And I'm proud of it. But there are women out here who look in the mirror and they feel less than a woman because they say, oh, well, this something is wrong with me. Angela's here. Hey, Angela. We're already in the conversation. And hopefully, Angela, you'll be able to join us. But we're talking colorism. And I want each one of these ladies to chime in on their experiences because we're all in the entertainment field somehow. Again, we're all in the entertainment field and business somehow. But colorism is definitely a division within the Black community because if you look at it, you have some that praise lighter skin. You have some that look at darker skin as, oh, you're disgusting, you're this, that, and the third. And I'm going to be honest and transparent. There were some times I didn't get interviews booked and I faced either misogyny or colorism because I've had men, and I'm putting this all on the table. Challenge. Well, what is your resume? What can you do? Shout outs to my girl, Tamika Wiley. We had this conversation on misogyny and how it works for us as Black women in this business. So with me being transgender, I face what's called trans misogynoir. And I've had men doubt my intelligence and say, oh, well, you're not less than because you're dark skinned. You're not good enough. Well, I'm good enough to fit in the room just like you.
Right.
The only difference is I'm walking in stilettos, you're walking in your Oxfords.
Period.
So, colorism. And I want every one of us to jump in, chime in on the line. I've opened up about my transparency about it and what I've experienced. I've been labeled as the angry Black woman too. And that's something a lot of people don't know about me because if you watch my stories, I'm like sitting right at the top of the bird's eye view watching what's going on in our world with how, even with the situation with our girl Meg, I won't even have to get into that because I see how dangerous it's gotten for her, where people is labeling Meg as, oh, she's the aggressor because she's a tall, and Ro, you can relate, you've been transparent about that, about your height and everything for taking certain roles. And with Meg is a tall girl, and they're already using misogynoir. Oh, she's the aggressor. She's this, that, and the third. And that is very, very dangerous and triggering for a lot of Black women out here because we will sometimes look in the mirror and we will point out that one thing that we don't like about ourselves. And y'all know where I'm going with this. And I'll give you an example. Lil' Kim was beautiful back in the day. When she first came out with her hardcore album, beautiful. Natural beauty, that's what the 90s oozed and resisted of, was just Black beauty.
But the industry made her feel like she wasn't pretty enough, and that's what caused her to start to change her features, and it just went completely left.
Simone said it. I didn't have to say it. She said it. Yes, feel free to jump in anytime, ladies, because these are things that we think about as women in the business. You know, is our skin, what is it? Is it my hair? Because me and Simone, we talked about microaggressions when we did our interview and how we're always changing my hair. Yeah. And if you looked over the weekend, I posted something where it's like a compilation of all the hairstyles that I've done. I've had every hair color under the rainbow. And I had to check one of my male friends because I wore the blonde for a reason today. Because he said, oh, well, I'm sick of the blonde. What's up, baby? I'm wearing the blonde, not you.
Right.
So what's the problem?
So you're gonna have to be sick of it. You're gonna have to be tired because I want to keep wearing it.
Right. How what I'm doing bother you? Come on.
And that's the thing. Black men have been trying to police Black women on how we wear our hair for the longest. That's a whole nother conversation. Yes. Meek Mill, I hope you're paying attention because we caught a little comment about the weaves and stuff. So, ladies, colorism. Ro, you want to go? Ricky, whatever order you ladies want to go in.
I definitely this industry is definitely colorism happening, but honestly I do, and I think we talked about this last time, I do think now it's starting to get a little better because more women of color are starting to be in those more powerful positions to put more women in that position as well. So with more women being in those positions, it's just allowing us to to be able to thrive and do whatever we want to do. I think at first it wasn't as many of those women in those positions, so it definitely was hard for Black women in the industry to get booked for a major role or a commercial, or they may say your hair needs to be straight in a commercial. But now I do see a lot more natural like texture hair on commercials of dark skinned women, like their natural hair. I do see a lot of that. So I think it's mainly just about women just coming together and sticking together more, because it just allows us to be able to step in these rooms and just do whatever we want to do with each other, supporting each other. So yeah.
I agree. One of the things that I can actually say I've seen happen in the industry is that when we audition for roles, we as Black women audition for roles, and there's already a Black woman on screen or in the primary lead role, we have to be cognizant. For example, if I'm auditioning for The Equalizer, I have to know that I can't wear a red wig because my complexion is already too close to Queen Latifah's, or I'm not going to get cast. So I think the industry plays our race, but I also think that they want to limit the number of us that is in such roles. So we have to be mindful of, like I have to be mindful if the main character has her hair natural, then I got to wear mine a certain way. I can't be too close, because if I'm too close, then they don't need two of us. They already got one of us. And that happens across the board. So that's one thing. And I'm a double-edged sword in the sense that sometimes I'm not dark enough, sometimes I'm too dark. Then in addition to that, I'm a 6'2" Black woman who can sound like Barry White if I need to. So and it's not just those on the other side of the camera. I had a manager who would tell me I need to play an angry Black woman. I'm like, boo, have you seen me? I'm 6'2". I come through the door looking at you. So I don't need to play that, because when I want someone to know I mean business, it's just a look. I don't need the attitude that goes behind it. So I think we as Black women are now getting an opportunity to redefine who we are, but that doesn't stop them from saying, oh, she's angry, she's this. I am. In some instances, I can be. However, that's not who I am 100% of the time.
Right.
It takes something to get me to go there, and they seem to think that's who we are the moment we step into the room. I was taught a long time ago by a guy named Sam Christensen. He said, my headshot said soccer mom, but my presence in the room said, I wish somebody would. So I had to be mindful of taking my headshots to let them know, or having to walk into the room to adjust my energy and adjust how they see me when I walk into the room. I can't walk in and be like, hey, I'm Ro. I got to walk in like, hi, I'm Ro, and I'm here to audition for Lisa, versus, hey, what's up, y'all, I'm Ro.
Right. And
we do need to be mindful. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and I didn't want to cut you off. I was just trying to piggyback on what you said. And that's the main reason why us women in film, like writers and directors, producers, like we're going so hard to just be able to put ourselves in a position where we can create any project that we want to, and we can cast as many Black people as we want. I can have a full Black cast if I want to. And it's not me being racist saying I don't want white people or Spanish or whatever. It's just, it may be one film where I do just want all Black people, just because I want to. But I am going to have diversity films, I'm going to include everybody. But if I wanted to have a whole Black female lead cast, at least the leads, they're all Black. It could be other people that's like, it could be diverse as far as the extras or the supporting roles, but the lead roles, I can create a film where it's all Black lead roles if I want to. And they all can have braids, they can have wigs, they can have their natural hair, they can have whatever they want, because I'm creating it and I'm in a position to do that.
Right.
I think what else?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I think something else that I think is very, very important, and I'm fortunate because I get to work behind the scenes on the set of the Miss Pat show, is making sure that we as actors, as Black actors, are not pitting ourselves against, I have to be better than so-and-so and so. I'm on a show where the lead says, I'm good if you shine. It's still my show. And if you make the show any better, I'm gracious. I'm grateful. And so just watching that and us having the dichotomy of that change will allow us to say, you know what, there's room for me and for you. I'm going to eat, but I'm going to make sure you eat. I think that's the biggest thing, because the way the system was set up was we're always competing. Oh, I got to get this role, because if I don't get it, she going to get it. I get it, boo. because you can't do them
I
all.
want
There's no way.
everybody.
There's so much television that no one actor can do everything. So go ahead, boo, get it. And don't forget, I'm cheering you. So when it's my turn, you can cheer me on too. I think that's just the biggest thing, is that we have to understand that we have to be our biggest cheerleaders, because everybody else already wants us to
That's
fail.
just
They want to pit us.
that's
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
just the women empowerment thing. That just goes back to that. Us bringing each other together, supporting each other. Like, I want to see all of my sisters win, all of my Black queens win, everybody.
Right. And I think that it's also important to remind each other of that, because as far as me, of course, I experience a different side of colorism. Is something different for me because I am lighter skinned.
Right.
I'm typically people assume that I'm Hispanic, which I'm not. But it helps me to understand how diverse I look, because nobody ever really knows. It's just like ambiguous. Like, we're not really sure it's something, but we're not sure what she is. But that sometimes growing up, that used to frustrate me, because I wanted people to see who I was, and not assume that, oh, well, she must be Hispanic. I didn't even meet anybody Hispanic until I was in middle school. I didn't even know they existed. So I was just, the white girl. I'm from East Atlanta, so we didn't really have, you had that one white family that was on, but that was it. And then it was our family. And from my experience, I saw my dad struggle with it, because he was brown skinned, but his family is dark skinned. So he was experiencing it much differently than his family did. And then he would put that onto me and my sisters, because he would just, say, hey, look, they're gonna call you white. They're gonna call you this. They're gonna call you that. And he would get us so, he would try to prepare us, but it made us angry and like some little pit bulls every single time we were confronted with something that had to do with our complexion. But now I'm experiencing it a little differently as an adult, because it's like, why are y'all trying to choose me? I'm not trying to be the chosen person. I don't want to be.
Do you feel like sometimes you have privileges of being lighter?
In some areas I would. I think it's people assuming that I'm bilingual. I've experienced it like in job interviews where they might assume I'm Hispanic, so she probably talk to our Spanish customers. I've experienced it in that aspect.
Yeah.
I never really experienced it from the white side, because I've never been white enough for that. So
I've heard that
it kind of leaves me alone in this little I'm like right here, and everybody else is on the other side.
And I've heard that
it's not big enough for either.
Yeah, right. I've heard the saying before that people like yourself of fair skin, oh, I'm not white enough, or I'm not Black enough. So how was that? The darker skinned people aren't really welcoming you in, because they're like, oh, she's not dark enough. They're calling you white or something. And then it's like the white people are like, she's not white, so no.
You ain't one of us.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it helps me to understand, though. It just opens me up to understand that it's not just, I know I'm not the only person experiencing this, and I know I can identify with other people, because I feel how they feel. Like, I'm not Hispanic, but I can imagine how they're treated, because I get that treatment everywhere I go. And I don't know if you guys heard, so y'all know with the new Black Panther movie, they had the guy Neymar that was the leading role. And I noticed that, like, especially, it's not just us that have that issue with colorism, because Hispanics have it so bad. They said that he was just too dark. His folks was like, nah, he's
I'm
too
gonna
dark
chime in,
to be honest.
because I am Afro-Latina, and the sad part is my father is Black as coal with great eyes. His name is Rogelia. And it's so funny because we run the wide gamut of it my mom is Black, straight out the hood, straight out the project. So that's how I was raised. And when people come to me and say, what do you mix with? I was like, what do you see? because everything else doesn't matter to me.
Right.
When I walk into the room, this is who you're going to see. I can tell you I'm Afro-Latina. I can tell you everything else down the line, but what you see is what you
Yep.
get. Now, as I've gotten older, once I moved away from Florida, I lost my Spanish. I can understand it, but speaking is a little bit less, and I was 20 years removed. But at the end of the day, as I've gotten older, I get more of it when I go to foreign countries than I do when I'm here in America. What I get now is, where'd you get that nose from? Who did you buy it from? And I was like, well, first of all, it was something I hated growing up. Now that I've grown into it, I'm like, yeah, okay, at the end of the day, but I'm getting different things that people want to pick and choose what I am. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing I told my son. The first thing they're going to see when you walk in the room is a Black person. All that other stuff doesn't matter. And if it's a room full of others, and others, meaning not Black, you're going to be the last one they pick because you're the Blackest one. So at the end of the day, I don't ever want to forget that this is who I am, this is my spectrum, this is where I land, and this is who I'm going to represent. There's two things that came up. I had a student, his name was Maurice, I'm a retired teacher, and he was biracial. And he was not Black enough for the Black kids and not white enough for the white kids. And the teachers misunderstood him at all times. And we wanted to move him to a higher achieving class, wanted to move him to a college prep class. And the white teacher said, no, he can't move in there. He's too hood. And the Black teacher said, no, he's not smart enough. So what I'm getting at is we get judged on all spectrums. He was, I can't explain it, but he looked like Carrot Top. If anybody remembers Carrot Top, he was pale, but he had that red curly hair, and they just wouldn't give him a break. And so at the end of the day, it's enough we do it to ourselves. We already have them doing it to us, and now we're doing it to each other. So it's kind of interesting that we're having this conversation. And like I said, there are times I'm too Black, I'm not Black enough. And at the end of the day, I just had to learn how to represent myself. What I did do as a teacher, on the other hand, when I was teaching in Atlanta, I had this one girl, her name was Jakeem, a really, really dark-skinned, beautiful girl, but she wasn't at an age where she could feel that. And so every day I said, hello, beautiful, every single day. So one day I forgot to say hello, beautiful. And she came and she said, hey, Sunday, you didn't call me beautiful today. I said, boo, I'm sorry, I'm slipping. She said, yes, you are. And I think what's important to learn is I took it for granted that I was calling her beautiful. I just was calling her beautiful because she was a beautiful girl inside and out to me. You know, in 7th grade, the kids were calling her ugly all day long. But she took that and ran with it. And if you see her to this day, she lets me know it was you who made me feel pretty. I want you to know it was a light-skinned woman who made me feel pretty. A girl who could pass for Spanish or something else every day. She'd say, good morning, beautiful. And it wasn't until I was a grown woman that someone did that. So in my journey, I make it a point to say hello, beautiful. Because some days we just don't feel beautiful. And if we let society tell it, we'll never be beautiful. But we are.
And don't you just hate that, ladies, when the first thing, and I had this conversation with one of the ladies here on the panel where we were talking about, oh, you look like you're mixed with something. Like, don't ever walk up to somebody and ask them if you're mixed with something. Black women, and we had this whole conversation, we are exotic because we come in an array of colors. We have multi-ethnicities, multi-backgrounds, but it's even harder for us even when it comes to picking up job applications. It's like, okay, what about you? I was watching, what was it, Tracy Ellis Ross's show, and her character, the younger version of her character, had to choose, was she Black, white, or other? We already have to balance that on the inside. We don't need you pointing out, oh, well, you look different. You look like you shouldn't be here. I'm a Black woman. That's all you need to know. So what does my multi-ethnic background have to do with anything? Why are you bringing that?
Like they're trying to take it, like they're trying to take your Blackness away, like try to water it down or try to remove you from it or separate. You know, it just feels like, and even with each other, like sometimes, you know, it really is a really bad trick that have been played on us that really divides us every chance. Every chance.
Has anyone else noticed that most of the commercials, there's always an interracial an interracial family? Like our Black isn't enough. It's always her with some white man or vice versa, and then they got these kids that are ambiguous. And like it's, they don't usually have us as a nuclear family anymore.
Now it's all just interracial.
Whereas it shows like Insecure, where they're showing all types of Black love. If you look back in the day, I was looking online today earlier, and I was looking in Essence magazine. If you look on the covers back in the 70s, they would showcase Black natural beauty, Black love, everything. I mean, chocolate skin,
Mm,
afro, embracing and holding each other back in the 70s. Bring that back.
right,
Bring that back, because what we're seeing on TV with these commercials, that's not it. That's not Black thing.
right. But that's just, it goes back to that, create your own, create it yourself. Put yourself in that position to be able to create a commercial and to be able to cast a Black family. You know, we can't wait on them to do it. We have to get out there and make it happen, do it ourselves. And we're going to make change, and we're going to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
And we got a question from Ali Yankee. He wants to know, what do you think the difference is between Black American and African American, or is it the same?
Ooh.
That one's that's packed in. But my quick answer is, for me, it's the same. I mean, I don't know what you want me to call. I mean, I'm Black and I'm African American. I can be them. I can be both.
I'd rather
Somebody somewhere came from the motherland for me to be able to claim that. So at the end of the day, I feel like this: if you can title it either way you want to, I'm still gonna be me.
So
Black
I'm not, you know, I'm
African
not.
American. Black African American.
It's much better than what they would refer to us back as it back in the day. I would much rather be called a Black woman than a colored woman. I would much
Oh, honey, that was
rather
on my daddy's birth certificate,
Oh, Lord.
and that was in the 50s.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you go to some places in Florida, they still gonna call you colored. So just so you know, you have to check. See, like,
Colored. Oh my God.
Jesus.
I had a friend just quit a job because she was in Florida, and the guy was like, "You're a nice colored woman." And she said she hadn't heard it in so long, and I was like, "Boo, just keep going south. You're gonna find some other words."
Oh,
Wow. Oh yeah. Listen, they're still out there, and there's still races out there, and racist towns actually.
Yeah.
That you have to be careful of.
Slide through Sanford, Florida, and find out. Slide through that. Don't speak of 35 the whole way through. Go 36 if you want to. You're gonna find the N-word.
Who wants to join? We gotta rotate. Who wants to rotate?
I can come out if you want.
Okay. So so only 3 guests. Okay, so I'll rotate. I'll add Ro back. I'm gonna add Angela, and then we're gonna add Ro. We're gonna do like that because I wish it would just let me add 5 all together.
Do you think? I'm gonna grab a drink of water anyway.
All right. You're welcome. All right, so I'm gonna add
Now
Ro
rotate
back.
out when she get back.
Okay, so I'm gonna add Ro back. Let me exit her out and add Angela. Okay.
Do I need to do something?
Yeah, I think you might have to exit out. I don't see that.
I don't know. Let me try. You know, I'm not the most technologically savvy person. Let's try that. Okay, leave.
Okay. Let me add Angela, so Angela can chime in. And I know we can't keep Simone. Again, mommy duty calls. I'm just Auntie Stevie. The rest of the ladies on the panel are mothers.
I'm fine.
I'm the auntie up here.
No, because I knew we wouldn't be here till 6, so we're fine. I mean, long as it's like 5:30, I'm good.
Hey, my son.
Look at us. Color coordination.
Not me.
What you say?
She said y'all was color coordinating. I said, not me.
We was on the same vibrations.
Yeah.
You coordinated. You coordinated.
Angela, girl, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. I can't complain. If I do, ain't nobody gonna listen. Are y'all gonna listen?
It won't.
All right,
change
so I
nothing,
know
we'll
you saw bits and pieces of the conversation on colorism.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, Angela? Because it goes on predominantly within the Black community. Like, it's just the vision between us.
I have to, I have to agree, but I'm gonna have to go with Miss Fashionista because I'm on that same different. It's different for me as a business owner um, in the food industry, going into a hotel, right? I like trying to tap that market. You don't see a lot of Black women going in there saying, "Hey, I want to present my sauce and to your company, not just your company. We're talking a major chain. It's different, right?" But I went in there with confidence, even though it was nobody like me in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's kind of different for myself. I know I'm experiencing it now in the workplace that I'm working, but I'm currently at home, and when it comes to the meetings and going online, I'm the only sister there, right? But I just feel as though I'm pushing through no matter what, because you can't change what is meant for me anyway.
Exactly.
It's for you, period.
Absolutely.
You're destined to be exactly where you are.
Absolutely. And so for me, it's a little different. I've been in all types of jobs where I felt, that colorism, like, in the IT world, it's a man's world, and they're not of the same ethnicity as I am, but they get higher rank in that role.
Yep.
But then when I come along, it's like, you can't do the same thing I can do, right? But I can show you better than I can tell you,
Right.
and I felt like that's what I've always feel like I've had to prove.
Yeah, right. Like you have to prove a point every time,
and we shouldn't have to,
right?
We shouldn't have to.
But we all have that deep rooted feeling for, it's just so it's like a void.
And
when
you get
first
tired.
You gotta hurry up and try to fill
Right.
up.
Right, but you know what? I'm so tired of that.
Yes.
I'm tired that we have to define it. We have to stand up and march and create. But nothing beats a failure but a try. So if that means that we got to continue to push,
Right.
we got to push for our future and push for our now,
Right.
and our kids for the later, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Who like now and later? Did y'all get that one? Did y'all get that?
Yeah.
We on here rapping.
That's the poet in me. That's
That's that sauce.
Who got the sauce? What's the sauce, baby? Yeah. So that's how I feel, baby.
It's like it never seems to fail. It goes back to what Angela was saying and what I kind of said in the beginning, opening up this conversation on colorism, where as though you feel as though you have to prove yourself in this industry because male dominated on all spectrums, whether it's in food with Angela, whether it's in fashion with our girl Raquel. I work in fashion, entertainment as well as my girl Simone and Ro. They all work in entertainment. So it's like in every form, it's like men try to doubt you or they will gaslight you and say, well, you're not equipped for this. And it was a basketball player that basically used misogyny on the female news reporter. And I think I can't remember his name right off the tip of my head. But she asked him about a play or something, because I don't know a whole lot about football. But all I know, if you ladies know about them men in them tight pants, hello. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. Yes. But she was interviewing him and she asked him about, I think, a replay or something on the field. And he just kind of cocked his head to the side and sucked his teeth like, what do you know about that? Right. You're just a woman. Like that type of attitude. Like you wouldn't expect female news reporters especially in sports, because what's her name? Jamel Hill. She even opened up about the misogyny and the racism and things that she's experienced behind the scene with ESPN and all of these other sporting networks. So it's no matter what industry you're in, whether it's sports, fashion, misogyny is everywhere.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I did a reel once and I shared it on. I'm not on TikTok that much, but I was trying to, get out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sharing a reel, and this guy commented and was like, "No, you need to go on a all veggie fast." And
Not body shaming.
What?
yeah,
We'll get to that. That's the next topic.
no.
I was like, no, I've lost 100 pounds, so I was not moved by that. But I was just like, who are you?
Sir, who are you? Did I even ask you to
Who
say
are
anything to me about my body, for one?
Who are you?
What is your body looking like? Are you eating
Absolutely.
vegetables? What is your hairline looking like?
Well, that was the next part.
Talk about the hairline, girl. They hate that. When
Oh,
men
they
lose their
do.
hair, they hate that. It's their pride. It's their ego. And I'm glad that Raquel brought that up, because we're going to phase right into the next conversation. I'm going to add roll back. I can keep rotating. I can do this all day. I can talk to these ladies all day. It's like sitting here and chatting with all of my girlfriends, because these are
Because
things
then
literally
that-
that I've talked
then
with my
that-
girlfriend. Yeah.
Sorry, and then that way, when you do that, then I could go out and then I could still work at the same time.
Yeah. Yes. Multitask, girl. Okay.
Well, you can
Body image.
out whenever you
Because
want.
Raquel brought it up. Okay. Body shaming, is that what we're doing now? And I'm about to be controversial up here, so y'all can eat me up. I came to bang today, as Reckless
Let's
Logic
go.
would say.
Yeah.
We have the Supreme Court taking away a woman's rights to her body and LGBT people's rights. The last thing we need is some of you cis Black men out here telling Black women how our bodies need to look. And I will bring up the perfect example. Lizzo. I'm sick and tired of y'all coming for our girl Lizzo. Lizzo is beautiful the way she is. And I'm pretty sure mentally it does something to young girls out here, because they're waiting to fully develop. They're waiting to see what the perfect body is.
Right.
We have young girls that are out here watching each and every one of us and saying, if she can do it, I can do it.
Mhm.
What example are you setting if you're a Black man out here body shaming Black women to your daughters, if you have them? When we know the young girls are out here suffering with self-esteem and so much more. The last thing I want to be told is, oh, you could use a stair step or two. No, I'm just going to say it because I've embraced my thickness. I know I've gained a lot during the quarantine, and I'm going to keep on gaining, baby. Thick thighs save lives. Especially if you see the dress that I'm wearing today. It fits perfectly.
Absolutely.
So I'm so tired of men policing Black women's bodies. And I've seen it with so many, especially after pregnancy. Sierra said it best. I'm in no hurry to get my, what they call it, post-snapback body back.
Mhm.
It's a lot of pressure on women because they're required to look a certain way after pregnancy.
So it just goes into the whole with this generation, especially with what they're seeing our normal should be, which is displayed on social media every day. You should have big boobs. You should have a little small tiny waist. You should have a big butt. You should have thick thighs. That is the way you should look. So if you're too skinny or you're fat, I'm going to say something about it, because you need to look like how these Instagram models look. And that is just disgusting to me, especially coming from a man. It also comes from women as well. But a man, like, you really think you have any type of place to tell any woman how she should look or how her body should look, or that she needs to go get surgery to look like this girl on Instagram? Are you crazy? We are women. Like, do you understand what we go through?
Absolutely.
Like,
Ooh, you are so right, because I had my ex-husband. See if my kids listening. Anyway, but he decided that when he was trying to step, he told the girl, well, she didn't lose her baby weight. She still looked, she didn't lose weight after she had our son. Are you serious right now? Like,
she
that's
had
what he
a
told.
whole baby. Do you not understand? That's the part that you need to understand.
Baby. Right, but they don't understand that part. And then when you have C-sections, it's very hard to snap back
Yeah.
Post-baby
that
body.
okay?
Yeah.
It's
If you Beyonce or somebody like that, then I mean, they see the pictures and it's like it's a lot of pressure on women. They go into the gym and they basically wear themselves out to look like Beyonce or Ciara. And Ciara, I love what she said. She posted a picture with her stretch marks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful. No makeup on the face. Just teaching women to embrace after pregnancy.
But what
Right.
people don't understand is everybody's bodies are different. Every woman cannot just snap back like another woman can. It literally depends
Right.
on your body. It's almost like hereditary, like, or
Yeah.
something. Because
Yeah.
when I had my C-section, like, it took a while for my stomach to look, you know, like it's a C-section, you know. So I'm not gonna, whatever happens, happens.
Mhm.
Luckily, I was able to actually have my son, my second child, naturally, but I did have a C-section with my first child, and it is no joke at all. So I wish somebody would have tried to tell me that I need to hurry up and snap back or get my stomach together after I just got cut open to have a baby. Are you crazy?
Exactly. And then the new routine of having a baby. Like you talking about, ain't nobody thinking about no working out and doing all that. You got a brand new baby.
Right. I'm trying to tend to my baby.
I'm really just trying to figure this thing out.
Right.
But you know what?
And people live out here. Right. Go ahead, Ange.
About it, when you see it's so much competition,
Mm-hmm.
but does not need to be competition
Yep.
because you too busy trying to look like her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I, go out to the club, I shouldn't be, but my sister drags me to the club, but I don't look like those that in the club
Right.
because I wear a certain dress, right? But for the body shaming, because those women will get into anything,
Mm-hmm.
they get all the play.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that's how we're supposed to look.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the times the models on Instagram don't even look like they're supposed to look. And it goes back to the magazine covers. No shade to my girl Janet. She going on tour. But I love to pull out pictures. Half of the times they airbrush the photos on magazine covers.
Yeah.
The girls don't even look like that on the covers.
There you
And
like
we've seen Janet
all the stuff that I got.
Right.
But it's surgery. You're just going to get surgery. How easy is that? Anybody can do that, but who wants to pay for surgery just to look like somebody else? Like, what?
I want a mommy makeover. That's all I just want. I mean, but that's what I want.
Right, and it's not because you want to look like someone else.
Right.
It's for you. Because I do want my
Your
stomach done
choice.
one day. I
Your
do
body,
want,
your choice.
a little
Exactly.
tightening. But that's because just for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Never. Right.
Not for somebody else or that man that comes into my life that had a Beyonce look
Mm-hmm.
and want that in myself. No, this is not the one, baby.
Right.
It's not. Absolutely.
And that puts pressure on young girls as well too, because you don't think that they're watching Instagram. Like kids have now gotten hip to social media to know how to use it and everything, and start at a young age. And they're scrolling down and they're seeing, well, her butt looks big, or this, her waist looks snatched, or as they would say, snatched, or desirability. And I'm gonna go back to what Angela was saying about the girls in the club. It all boils down to one thing, and that is desirability.
Yes.
And I'll give you an example. Tiana Taylor, amazing looking body. Amazing.
Crazy.
Snatched. Whew. And it's just like, well, damn. And I thank God they got rid of the Victoria's Secret fashion shows, because this time of year that made it even worse. Yes, the women are beautiful, but I'm just like, in real life, half of these women, there are some that are shaped like this, but Victoria's Secret has totally changed their branding and saying, you know what, we're going to choose real women of every shape, of every size, because they're not all the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what I like to see. I mean, that's what I mean, I don't personally like to model, but obviously I do for my website.
Right.
But I love finding different bodies. Whoever is willing to take a picture.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
I will put you in my clothes, because the thing is, I want women to identify with what they actually see.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking for, I've had models reach out to me, but that's not what I'm looking for my brand, because I know, I mean, I had, you know, I'm a short little chunky girl. So, and I always have been. This is the smallest I've ever been. But, you know, so I'm thinking about, I'm always thinking in that way. Even with me losing weight, I've always still had that in the back of my mind. I know how to dress as a plus size woman because I've always been plus size. And growing up, I was not desired or any of those things because I was the little fat one. My sisters are beautiful and they wasn't, you know, it was just me.
Right.
So look, when I see Lizzo, I love her. I love some Lizzo, honey, because I just couldn't have imagined having that type of confidence at an age. I didn't have that.
Right.
You better tell.
I got it now, but it took a minute.
Oh yeah, because I used to run away from my mirror. I know you ain't trying to take a picture. You know what I'm saying?
But women, like, we are so hard on ourselves. Like, I went through several stages. Like, I'm fat. And then I look back at my memories. I'm like, dang, I was actually skinnier then, calling myself fat.
Like, I was fine.
Everybody's like, oh no, you look good, girl. You look good. The whole time it's like, I feel like I look like a whale, but everybody else, we look good. But we just so hard on ourselves for no reason. But that's, I don't know, it's just women.
Okay, Ro wants to come back up. Okay, Angela says she's going to drop back down. So yes, the third one, we're going to get into that sensuality and that femininity because all of us are sexy and beautiful in our own ways. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have some fun on the third topic. Okay. So I'm going to add Ro back up and then I'm going to add Angela. And
I can drop down next then, whenever.
We got it. We good. Go on, stay there, girl. Stay there, girl. This is a commercial break. This is a saucy commercial break. I'll be right back.
All right.
You got it, Stevie.
All right, so let me see. So I can add Ro back up and she can chime in the conversation as well. Where's the thing? Oh my God, where's that button that we would take away and remove? Let me see. Okay.
Be back. Oh, you can do it.
Yeah, it's not letting me take her out. Let me see.
Oh, she may have to do it on her end then.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
hit that.
Add, yeah, leave and then I add Ro back up. All right, if you're just joining in, we are talking body image in the entertainment business. So I'm gonna add Ro back up and I'm gonna rotate. Y'all are enjoying this conversation. I see in the comments.
I wanted to ask you about your clothes. You said you only have plus size clothes?
No. I have small through 3X.
Okay, if you need a model, I'm here, girl. That's what I do.
See,
welcome.
Look, networking.
So we were talking. I know you got some of the conversation, Ro. We were talking body image.
I wanted to chime in because honestly, y'all, I have been 6 foot 2 inches tall since I was in 7th grade.
Wow.
And I started out at 6'2" at less than 100 pounds. So, I was a walking L. I had big feet and I was just straight up and down. And I want to say that body image stuff that we deal with, it starts early. It starts early. It starts at home. I was Bigfoot. I was Sasquatch. I was the female in the new bull. And I honestly did not grow into my looks until, I'm going to say, maybe my 30s. I finally grew into it. And now when people see me that I went to school with all those prettiest people in school with the prettiest smile, they got no teeth touching. But at the end of the day, we sit back and that body shaming goes all the way back. I had guys who rejected me in high school who now in my inbox, hey girl, how you doing? I'm doing just fine. Period. So that body shaming stuff comes from way down when you're little. Like, and I hadn't even found myself yet. I didn't know who I was. I could barely wear them size 11 shoes, flipping over like Flipper. But at the end of the day, no one came to me and said, hey girl, I want you to look in the mirror and look back at this and laugh one day. I'm doing it now. And even in my acting, I now embrace what I did not like about myself then. Yep. I embraced my height. I had an actor, a well-known actor, tell me, I was in his acting class, and tell me I was never going to make it. I was too tall. He told me to look up. He told me to look up all the tall men and see who I could play against, and I would never be leading lady material. He actually told me to go FICOR. He said, drop your SAG status and go FICOR so that you can get work.
What?
He sure did. It was me and another actor. The other actor actually went FICOR. So when I say this industry will eat you alive and spit you out, and what he did not say was, he used to always say, when I first joined his class, I think I went like 5-6 sessions before he finally gave me feedback. Mm-hmm. And I could not figure out what that was because I was acting coach myself, but I was like, I want to get better. So I couldn't figure out what it was. And finally it was revealed to me he had nothing to say. He couldn't give me any notes. And instead of saying you're wasting your money going on about your business, he just kept me in it. However, the one thing he did keep saying, and I didn't know it at the time, he said, you have such a gravitas. And so what I found was, when I finally started looking for agents and managers, I started using my gravitas. I knew I was going to play with men because of my height. Mm-hmm. What they explained to me was I would always be playing against men, toe to toe. Mm-hmm. I would always be playing power, but instead of him embracing that and saying it, he was like, I don't even know why you're here. You're never going to be a leading lady.
That is disgusting.
And when he found out I was a coach, he brought somebody else in who took training under Ivana Chubb, not knowing I'd already taken training with. So he said, oh, we have a real coach now. She got a master's of fine arts. So we have a real coach in the house, not knowing I had coached her. So when we sit up and say things, people say things to us, we have to decide, like my old coach, Christine Horn, used to say, eat the fish, spit out the bones.
Period.
Not everybody you encounter is going to want to see you win. I was not competition. At least I didn't think I was competition to him. But if you listen to what he said, I was. Mm-hmm. I was always going to play against men.
He was
now you coming from my job.
He was
right. But instead of just owning that and just saying, hey, let me help you get where you want to go, because you may take me as your private coach. You never know. So instead of feeding me, he threw me back in the world. So at the end of the day, I'm saying, y'all, we have to understand that as women, as parents, as neighbors, as friends, as aunts, and all the things that we are, we have to remember that someone is watching, and they're taking that word. That girl Yakima took, I was the only one to ever call her beautiful. Every single day for an entire school year. Now, if you see her, she walks with her head up, and she walks with such a glide.
You instilled
all it takes
that
is
in
one.
her. You instilled that in her. Yep.
All it takes is one. And I'm just saying, at the end of the day, one person to just say beautiful every single day and see what it does. Plant a seed. Yep. What you got to lose? It may not grow, but if it does, now who knows? 10 years down the line, someone else, she may do it for someone else.
Right.
She will. She will.
I'm sure she will.
Or it is.
Because she saw what it did to her. So she knows the feeling, and she wants someone else to feel that.
Yep. It means
we all felt that.
We can all remember those people that made those. Even, I mean, I can think of just one lady that she never said anything to me except for that one. She was the only lady that told me I was pretty out of all of my. Usually everybody would be like, oh, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. And then they look at me and be like, she's so cheeks.
Oh, she's so sweet.
Precious. Yeah.
Look at your cheeks. But she told me, she was like, you're so beautiful. And I was like, this lady is crazy. But I was in elementary school, you know, but I always remember her. I never forget her, because that's who told me I was beautiful in that stage of my life when nobody else did.
Right.
So I'm sure she remembers you. If she don't remember your name or whatever, she remembers how you made her feel.
She reaches out. She does all the time. Matter of fact, she reached out when I was on Power. She was like, oh my goodness. And they remember when I was in class practicing my lines and auditioning, hating my job. But at the end of the day, back to what I was saying.
So I wonder how that person feels, though. Like, seeing you prosper, like, after what he said to you, like, to see you on TV on a big show like that.
He is a very well-known veteran actor. When I say he's been acting for as long as I've been alive, a little bit less, I'm going to say, give or take. And if you are anywhere in the Atlanta area, you'll know who I'm talking about. Honestly, I don't know. And if I'm being honest, my biggest thing is tell me I can't so I can show you I can. So for me, because I was teaching, I wanted my students to see that I'm never going to stop dreaming. I'm never going to stop going for mine.
Right.
And I also was like, what you not going to do? And my family hates when I say that because that means I'm ready to fight. But what you not going to do is tell me what I can't do.
Period.
Because I'm really
So at the end of the day, that's what I wanted them to say.
Listen, and we've talked about this too, Stevie. The last one, don't tell me what I can't do, because I'm very stubborn. I'm a Taurus, so I'm very stubborn. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So when you tell me I can't do something, it literally forces me to prove to you that I can do it. But that goes back to what we were just talking about. Like, we shouldn't have to keep proving ourselves. But sometimes, I mean, listen, I'm going to prove it. I don't care. Because I love when people doubt me. I love when people think that I can't do something, or I'm not good enough for something. I'm going to show you. Just watch.
Yeah.
You know, and even in this industry, I'm a Taurus as well. Taurus team. Listen, it's so hard. I went to a relative's funeral a couple months back, and my cousin, my oldest cousin, who used to be my hero. I was raised with a bunch of boys, y'all. So he used to be my hero. He came up to me, he's like, hey, so what else you doing besides acting? And I said, collecting these checks. He was like, but don't you have a backup plan? I already did my backup plan. Now I'm in my front up plan.
Period.
So at the end of the day, like, they don't see what we do as real. And I was like, boo, if you knew what acting did for me, you would not say anything to me. You would stay in your lane over there in the corner and do what it is you do.
Right.
So at the end of the day, that comes in more than just our looks, just our body, everything. People think what their idea of what we should be doing is what we should be doing. But I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody and all my students. I own this life. I'm not renting it. When something goes wrong, I don't get to call management and they come fix it. Right. I got to fix it. This is my life, and whatever choices I make, I will live and die by them.
Period.
people try to put their insecurities on you.
Oh yeah,
they try to pack on put their insecurities on you, because I've had that happen to me a lot, where someone might be like, oh, well, you might want to wear something different since we're going. I was in a corporate job prior to my fashion business, and they would be like, well, you dress too nice for them to pay attention to you, and I'm like, excuse me. No, I'm going there and be exactly who I am.
Period.
I know what I'm talking
Don't
about.
never change who you are.
If y'all don't like yellow blazers, then that's on y'all.
But see, that's what people don't understand. Being yourself is what gets you the furthest in life. But y'all experiences, my experience of people doubting me was just being in this industry, coming into the film industry and having to pretty much learn. People look at you and like, oh, you have to start all the way from the bottom. You don't know anything. You don't have anything on your resume. You're not good enough. Yeah, you need to go do this class, blah, blah, blah. Versus, just, I'm ready to work. Like, that's all that matters. And I'm going to learn as I go. And I'm a very hard worker. And I learn pretty well. And I take criticism. I take direction. And, instead of just saying, oh, you're going to be a great producer one day, you're going to be a great writer one day, you're going to be a great at whatever, it's just like, oh, you're not good enough. Your resume doesn't have enough on it. You can't work with us because, I've dealt with that a few times since being here, working in this industry. And I'm pretty much just like proving people wrong. Like, okay, thank you. Like, thank you. You'll see me. You'll see my films and everything on TV really soon. Thank you.
That's that gaslighting that I was telling you about. Them, me and Tamika Wiley, we talked about, is they doubt you. They say you have all of these things under your resume. You've done so much. Two things people don't know about me is that I starred on a horror film. I was hosted my own style report on 216 The Beat Radio in Cleveland, Ohio. That's a radio station. So I have so much to add to my resume. How could you doubt what I'm capable of and what I can do? So going to show you, that's what they do. And we're not man bashing, disclaimer. It's just the ones that are misogynistic, that don't want to see women succeed, that do not want you to elevate in this business. That is, we already know, male dominated.
Right.
And we see it from the hip hop industry to the acting world to the fashion scene. We see it everywhere, even in food, like our girl Angela just said up here on the panel. So we're seeing it on all sides of the spectrum. It's everywhere.
Yep.
And as far as body image, every woman is not going to be shaped like the woman on Instagram. Instagram to me is fantasy.
Mhm.
It's like the principle. It's like, okay, back in the day we flipped through the Victoria's Secret catalogs, right? I'm old school, so the Victoria's Secret catalogs, and you see Playboy and all of these magazines, and it's like half of the time these girls don't even look like that.
Mhm.
They're airbrushed. Something is airbrushed, and there's nothing wrong with getting glamorous or in that moment. Don't get me wrong, but in real life, some real women don't look like that,
Mhm.
and it's pressure on them to look like that,
Right.
to have a tiny waist, or what we call the Coke bottle shape. I'm from South Carolina, so I see a lot of women getting work done to their bodies. That's their business if they want to. Their body, their choice.
Yeah.
And when I hear comedians, you know who you are, Duval, what's his name, Lil Duval, get out here and make comments about women. Oh, why are you getting this BB? A woman's body is a woman's choice.
Mhm.
So what I decide to do with my butt or my thighs is my business,
Yeah.
not yours.
Yeah.
You don't have that kind of power over me. And if I do anything, it's my choice because I choose to change something that I don't like.
Right.
You know? So if I decide to put on a black dress that has my back all the way out, that's my choice. That's my business. That's kind of gearing to the next topic of embracing your sensuality and things, which ties into confidence. Because a lot of women, especially mothers, all the women that are sitting here on this panel with me, from Ro to Ricky to Simone to Angela, they're mothers. I'm Auntie Stevie. I don't have kids, but my girlfriends is already trying to get me to be like, why don't you adopt? Why don't you? I said, I got to get a husband first.
Help me with these.
So I'm not looking. I ain't no rush, but I got to find a man first. But
Right.
I'm not looking. My man is my job. Style by Stevie is my man.
Period.
So stop
Now,
putting pressure on women to look a certain way, to be a certain standards, because you get in that gym, you get on that treadmill, and all of these things, you start working out, and it's just like, to me, this is kind of super realistic because it's going to take me a long time to get here to look like that. You're looking at Tiana Taylor or the Victoria's Secret fashion show or wherever, and you're realizing that, okay, I'm putting some pressure on myself to look a certain way. Love yourself.
Mhm.
And Angela said that in the comments earlier. Love yourself, ladies.
Yeah.
Loving yourself is the most beautiful thing. Don't ever let a man tell you you need to lose weight. And we've seen Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married? What he took her through. I don't even have to get into that. Oh, I just wanted to jump through that TV
And
screen.
women really
But
do go through that. They really do.
It's sad.
Listen,
It's
I'm
sad.
not one because I'm gonna clap back. What's wrong with you? What's going on with your body? What's going on with your health? Are you eating right? What's going on down there? What's going on with your hairline? What is going on? You coming at me, I'm gonna come at you. You got jokes, I got jokes too.
some of that stuff just isn't realistic. I mean, when you're looking at some of those people who you see in those magazines, they don't have jobs. I mean, I don't have a 9 to 5, and I could work out all day if I want to.
Mhm.
Trust me, I'm not. However, even at that, they don't have a job. Their only job is to stay in the gym. They don't have to do anything they don't want to do.
Right.
Most of us have real lives. You got a 9 to 5, you got a boss you don't want to deal with, you got to come home, you got to take care of your kids, you got to clean up, you got to do everything under the sun. So when is their time? Those people who look like that, they have nothing but time on their hands, and when they don't,
Right.
they got somebody driving them, picking them up, they ain't got a gas, their own car.
Right.
So when we're looking at all of those things, just look through a realistic window. At the end of the day, if you're expecting her to look like that, then you need to do a reality check
Give
on
her the
yourself.
life.
Because at the end of the day, I don't see a lot of men doing that for their women, where she ain't got to work. All she got to do is go to the
sad.
gym. And even at
It's
that, look what you just said. Sierra said, I'm not in no hurry to snap back, and her man is not expecting her to, because he's
Right.
realistic. So when you're expecting these things, you need to be mindful of what you're asking people to do.
Like,
I
are
don't
you
have-
gonna
Go ahead, I'm
Are
sorry.
you gonna not retire her, but allow her to quit her job so she can work out all day to lose that weight? You gonna pay
And
all
then-
her bills? What?
And then you still got to get everything else you need done too, because if you want it to look like that, her nails got to be done, her hair got to be done, the $1,000 wigs got to be ready. It's a million and one things. So
She gonna
when
need
you're
some
looking,
therapy so she can keep it that way.
hello,
It's a whole.
because the minute somebody say something to her, she gonna be nervous as a cat, a batty cat. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we just have to be realistic with exactly our expectations. I'm in all real, and not all workouts work for everybody. Now, when I played basketball, I was a gym rat. I was going every day. I may pass by the gym today, and I may go in tomorrow, but I'm not going in there every day. Finding what works for you. And for me, it became about being fit, but not being in the gym all the time. So I had to find a workout that works for me. I'm a homebody. I want to be at home. I don't really want to go. I want to get, if I'm going to the gym, I want to be in and out in 30 minutes. Now, what I can accomplish in 30 minutes, I don't know. So just trying to find one. I don't want to buy a million one pieces of equipment that I'm never going to use.
Right.
Try to find something that works for me. And it's not that I don't have the athletic ability. I do. I just don't want to.
Right.
So I had to figure out what that looks like for me. And lately, it's so funny. It's funny because I'm gonna mention this. I started doing the cowgirl workout. And it's by this girl. She's a tall woman. It's called a Glamouratica, and she basically just uses sexual positions to help you work out. My biggest issue was I had hip flexor issues, and so in order to fix your hip flexors at the gym, you got to go in that machine that lets you put your thighs in and out, then in and out, and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, that's just way too much work. I don't want to do all that. So someone recommended this to me. This has been the best thing ever, because now my back doesn't hurt as much. My legs go low. I was never able to do a split. I still can't, but I'm closer than I ever been before. So just finding what works for you, as far as what works for your body, what you want for yourself, and what works for you in your schedule would work.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's what
Island Yankee asked the question, well, basically said a statement in the comments that I think a lot of women are thinking, when are men going to lose the dad bods? Yeah, they got them beer guts. They sitting up, they right up on the chair, asking you, baby, when you gonna bring me my beer and my sandwich?
Right.
But you worried about
how
me
you gonna
losing
talk
weight,
about
tell me what I
your
need to do.
body when you got a whole pot belly? You look like you about 8 months pregnant.
Oh, they hate that. They hate that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's what that guy.
Cool.
I went to go look at his profile picture that made the comment about my weight, and he had these little small legs. And I said, "Baby, you need to stop skipping leg day."
I was gonna ask you that too. How did he look? When he's talking about
Girl,
you,
like somebody great uncle.
oh my God.
Swole that top with
The
skinny legs.
The nerve.
All right.
I was like, whatever.
All right, ladies. The last topic, and then I'm gonna switch out if you want to. We're gonna continue with Rowan, and I'm gonna add Angela. We can switch out. Okay. So this is a fun topic, and I know a lot of us up here can relate to this, and this is empowering as well too. It all boils down to one thing, and that is confidence. So I'm gonna go around the table. All of us, for what makes us sexy and embrace our femininity and sensuality, that makes us such strong, powerful women. So okay, for me, what makes me sexy or feminine in a way? At first, I didn't consider myself as that. I did not. I'm 5'7", and I know most girls that are in the modeling business or in the acting world are about Rose height, 6'2", or even taller. And I said at first, I didn't even consider myself as that. But putting on, for me, sexy is a woman putting on a black dress, no matter what shape or size she's in, finding that nice bottle of perfume. And it can be the back exposed. I love a back or a side slip. My mama said, I wish I would have took you to church more, because some of these dresses you wear, Lord have mercy. But what's sexy about a woman? What makes a woman sexy is just embracing your power, embracing your femininity. What makes you a divine feminine being? Looking in the mirror every morning, and Jennifer Lewis says she does this. She brushes her teeth and she spit it out. She says, "Pretty bitch." So that's how we have to embrace it. That's what makes a woman sexy. What the strength of a woman is defined by her confidence.
Yes.
When she walks into the room, she oozes confidence. She owns it. Like Rose said, when I said, "Rose, what type of profile picture you want me to pick for our flyer?" She said, "Choose that picture that says, 'I bet you will.'" And that's the type of confidence that us as Black women, we need to have. Black women, we already have it naturally, that type of confidence. Like, oh, you think it's going to go this way? No, it's going to go my way, especially when you're in a male-dominated space and you're the only female there. And I have two male co-hosts, Johnny, and shout outs to Marco. But working with men, it's a completely different understanding because you have to try to find that balance out, get their understanding, and then they get your understanding as a woman. So what makes a woman sexy is just embracing the overall, embracing everything, all of your curves, all of your flaws, waking up, because I said I was going to do it this year. Before the year is out, I'm going to post a makeup-free selfie. It's not just that, but embracing the beauty that God has given you. Don't go out here and change because society tells you to change. You embrace everything, every scar, every detail. I have dark circles under my eyes, and you take this off, baby, you can see a whole different person. But thank God for Melanie. So, but yes, that's what I think makes a woman sexy. A little long-winded, but I'm gonna let my girls here explain what makes a woman sexy and embracing the femininity and sensuality.
Well,
I did. Oh, go ahead. Look, this is ready.
Mine's is short and sweet. Basically, what you said, just embracing, and I think just being who you are and not trying to be someone else, never pretending to be someone else, never trying to be like someone else. Even if you walk in a room, don't pretend, don't put on a front, be who you are, because I'm telling you, like, it just gets you so far in life, just being yourself. Like, even if, like, I've been told like I'm extra and, you know, I just have a big personality. I've always had a big personality. I've always been outgoing, but I just think that makes me sexy because I'm just me and I just don't care. I do what I want to do and I just be who I am. Everybody loves me for that because I'm me, like I'm myself. And I you know, like you said, having kids, you kind of lose a little bit of confidence, but I like my body now. You know, I love it. So, and I kind of just, I wear whatever I want to wear. And I don't care if I got a little back roll showing or whatever, I'm still going to wear it. And I'm going to feel like I'm like that girl. I'm going to feel sexy. And, you know, people say, oh, you look good, girl, you look good. I kind of just take it now. I used to be like, you're lying, be quiet. But now I just be like, oh, thank you. You know? But yeah, that's just what I my take on it.
I think that it definitely has a lot to do with your confidence. I mean, you have to know first that you are whatever it is you trying to be, that you are. You have to walk it before you really, I mean, for me, that's what worked for me, is to really see myself as beautiful. And the more I told myself that, the more I treated myself as if I thought that I was beautiful or took care of myself, just, you know, showing myself that love, I felt it even more. And I wanted to give it to other people too. And I wanted them to feel how that feels to be that way. So for me, it's knowing how to hold my head up instead of walking with my head down. It's knowing that other women have the same issues or the same insecurities that I may have, and to be able to pass on that love and that confidence that I have to somebody else. Just like Ro was saying earlier, you know, a lot of times I always call women beautiful anyway. I work in, you know, in ladies fashion. And so I always try to give, you know, I call it out. If I think that your hair is pretty, I'm gonna tell you that your hair is pretty. Yeah. Or if I think, you know, I like to be able to compliment other people, because it's not just I see it in myself, I see it in other people. And I never call anybody ugly, because I don't even think that exists. But I think that, you know, beauty is subjective. It just depends on what you see. And I always can see the beauty in somebody. And that's what makes me feel beautiful, is that I'm able to see that in other people. So I have to see it in myself. I know it's there and I feel it. So I you know, it's just being able to keep my head up and know that at the end of the day, I just got to take care of myself and pass it up and pay it forward.
I just want to add to that, because that is also another thing. I strongly believe in uplifting other women and telling other women they look good. I'm quick to tell a girl, oh, girl, you look good today. Oh, I love your hair. Oh, who did your nails, girl? Oh, you look pretty. Oh, yes, honey. You know, like, that's something that I do. I love to make another woman feel like she's beautiful. And it just walking with your head high and not trying to dim someone else's light or be hater, quote unquote, and try to talk about people in a bad way or anything like that, that also makes you like beautiful inside and out, and it makes you confident, and it makes you feel good. You want to compliment the next woman, you want to make her feel good too, because you feel good about yourself, so you can do the same for someone else. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say, for me, it's self-love. And I know it's been said over and over again, but it's self-love, learning to love exactly who you are in the moment that you are in. One of the exercises we used to do when I was doing TESOL was, we as Black women have a hard time receiving a compliment. Somebody said, oh, that's a pretty dress. Oh, girl, this old thing. Oh, your hair is good. Oh, girl, I ain't even washed it in a minute. No, it's self-love. Loving them all. If your hair just dirty and someone complimented, girl, thank you. Oh, really, just thank you. Just receiving it and learning to love that moment, because maybe you just ain't had time to wash your hair.
right.
And it comes from self-love and loving exactly this moment where I am and what life is giving me. Somebody didn't wake up today.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, somebody would be glad. It took me a long time to realize someone would gladly trade places with me. Those little things that well, girl, I ain't had nothing but some Co-Star rolls. Somebody else is saying, oh, girl, just let me get a Co-Star roll. Oh, just let me get a Co-Star. So learning to be in this moment, loving this moment and who you are at this time, because that's all you got. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not promised. I'm going to love me in this moment. I think one of the sexiest things, I'm like you, Steve. My grandma used to tell me I had a come F me walk. And I've always had that kind of walk. But my point is, I think the sexiest thing in a woman is a smile, especially when it's genuine.
Yeah.
It just says so much. And I think when someone gives you a reason to smile, embrace that.
Okay.
And then don't forget to pass it along.
Yes.
I gotta let my girl look. I'm gonna drop off so Angela can get back on. Let her put her sauce on it.
Are you in the chat? Y'all enjoying the chat? They're so quiet. Y'all are just chiming in.
And
the
make sure
comments. Let me see.
all of y'all follow me. Follow me.
Yes, follow all of the ladies on the panel.
No, the
here.
ladies
This was
on the panel, the ones that aren't following me yet, follow me.
Okay.
always love
I'm
yourself.
trying to get on more often. Let's see how that goes. Now that I'm
Always love
free.
yourself before you can love anyone else. Exactly. Wada, Angela, are you still here? So that I can add you back. Let me see. Yep. Let me see. Is she ready to come back?
Gotta love ourselves, love on you that way, because it opens you up to love other people. If you loving you, let me tell you something, I enjoy my own company. Sometimes I sit here alone and I'm just laughing at myself, and I know if somebody was to walk by the window, like, this thing, she crazy. Yes, I'm crazy in love with me. I'm good. Hey.
Hello. I'm still working. Look, I'm still working. What makes sense?
Yes. What makes
Okay.
Me.
All of you.
yes.
All of it. Like, but I had to take a minute though to get there. I had to take a minute to get there, because when people make you feel a certain way or insecure, you get in a place of hearing it all the time, and then you start believing it, and then it starts manifesting, and then you start running away from the mirror and not realizing, oh, do you love you? Because I need you to come back to say that you love you again. And it all starts within yourself. And when I started feeling that way, then I said, I am sexy to me. I don't care about nobody else.
Period.
That part.
It kind of lends itself to if I knew then what I knew now. You know, if I knew then what I know now, a lot of the people that was talking in my ear, they don't even matter. Matter of fact, half of them, I don't even know their names anymore.
Right.
So it's kind of that thing where if we're going to pass something along, it has to be that, you know what, this is just a moment in time. And when I taught, I used to tell kids, you're not even going to remember his name a year from now. I mean, I got first boyfriend. I do remember my first boyfriend, but there are boyfriends in between
Me too.
that I was like, what's his name?
Right.
Or you look them
Right.
up, because trust me, we looking them up.
Right.
I looked up one, I was like, oh, I dodged a bullet. Thank you,
Oh.
Jesus. Oh my goodness. I literally,
Yes.
you have that moment where you like, ooh, my judgment has changed. So there's that if I knew then what I know now. And I was seeking love from them when I didn't love me. Now I love me, and the love that I get now, it's just so warm and beautiful.
Absolutely. And I think that's where I am, where I can be comfortable in my own space and place and time, where I can date myself, and it's okay to date yourself and not feel like where he at, where he coming, when he gonna show up. I don't need you to show up, because guess what? I showed up for myself. Because at the end of the day, I'm praying for my future, because I know that he's looking at me. Look, I'm working on my present, okay? And that part. And I'm just, but it had to take a minute to get there, right? And I think it doesn't matter how long it takes you to win that race, as long as you take the opportunity to get out there and race.
Is going to change the way you interact. It changes. Before I was where you are, where you're talking about being, I would be by the phone. Why he ain't call me yet? Oh, I got to do something. I got to make sure he knows. I don't have to do that. Because trust me, the brother that I'm dealing with, it's not even negotiable. You're doing you. And I'm not worried about what you're doing, because I know what you know you got right here.
Period.
I know what I am. So I don't have to worry about what you're doing out there. So it comes with that empowerment that we have to give ourselves, to say, you know what, I'm enough for me. And if that's not enough for you, go do you. I may not be here when you get back.
Goodbye and
But do your thing. I had to, and it changes the way.
Do your thing on that part.
I had a guy tell me one time. He said, "I've been really good to you, and you're never gonna find anybody else like me." So when I finally said, "I know you believe you've been good to me, and I do not. Therefore, for the sake of me, my man, and my relationship, I will not be entertaining a friendship with you." He was so dumbfounded, because he didn't know that I love me more than I could possibly love him. And so it makes you not take crumbs for cookies.
Oh, speak.
It makes you say, you know what? You take them and them 2 little chocolate chips you got and give them to somebody else. I'm good. I'm about to go get me a whole cake.
She said you the crumbs, child. The crumbs.
Sorry.
I'm like, I missed the last time that Stevie interviewed you, but yes, I love your energy. I love your spirit. It is so yeah, I love it. I love it. Can't get no better than Stevie. This is truly keep on moving as empowerment segment. Okay, that's what we got.
Yes, this was the last topic. Shout outs to JL Allison, another powerful Black woman in the cop. I wish we got to get Jay on the panel. We can make it 6, 7, 10 Black women if we want to, and keep this thing going. When God's power flows from and into your heart, being on your own is not lonely, only peace. This is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
And a lot of women feel as though when, because there's pressure on women in the industry to have kids, to get married, to do a certain thing. No, love yourself first.
Yes.
And they did it to Michelle Obama. Michelle Williams and Destiny's Child. And then they did it to Vivica Fox as well, too. There's like, why you get married? Why you ain't got no man? Why you ain't got kids? No, I need to love myself first before I get into
and
the
no matter
relationship.
how long it takes. Because you cannot love somebody else if you don't love yourself. If you're not comfortable with who you are as a person, you're going to it's not going to work out with the next person. It's not.
And I applaud them for being honest enough to say that based on my life and who I am, I'm not prepared to love someone else. Because having kids is nobody's joke. And I'm fortunate that I was able to turn my life story into a better life story for my son. But I also knew I didn't need any more kids. I was dealing with kids every day as a teacher, but I was like, you know what? I can love him enough to raise a good person and shower somebody else. But if I have too many of these children, I'm not going to be good for them. And I'm going to take everything that I didn't get and pour it into him. And he's a good person. But sometimes, and had my life been just an inch over to the left, it may have been different. I mean, I was out of my mom's house by 15. I was living in one of my friends, my brother's friends' houses, and while I was paying rent, it was good. But one day they were like, "Oh, you don't have any rent money. You got to screw everybody in the house." I had to leave.
Wow.
And a woman took me off the street and gave me a place to stay until my scholarship came through. But had it not been for those circumstances, I would not be here today. And I had to turn that into something for my son. But I also had to make a decision that, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to have this child. If I'm going to keep him, I need a job that's going to leave me available to love him. And I need to be able to take my tragedy and turn it into something triumphant for him. And everybody can't do that. Somebody carry them scars and they're angry at the child they brought into the world because they still dealing with the stuff they haven't dealt with. So I applaud them, and I'm applauding them for two reasons. One, for making that choice. And two, for not letting anybody else tell them what they got to do with their lives to be successful women. Because a lot of those people ain't never been women in the first place. They don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's like. They don't remember. I can honestly tell y'all, there was a time when I was so broke that I had a coupon for a free Happy Meal at McDonald's, y'all. I took my son and we went and got that free Happy Meal. He ate everything but the pickles and the ice, and that's what I had for dinner.
Wow.
So when you look at these stories and these people saying, I don't want to do it, I'm sorry. Stephen, say that again,
I said,
please.
those are the sacrifices that, I was saying that those are the sacrifices that mothers have to make. So these women, by them saying, I don't want to have kids, not right now. I want to focus on my career. I want to be successful. I want to create this foundation so that if I do decide to do this in the future, I have everything laid out.
And so I applaud them. I don't care what nobody say. You can't tell somebody else how to live their lives because you're not walking in their shoes. People want to tell you to have 5 kids, but they're not going to help you with them.
Right.
They're not going to give you, as a matter of fact, the government cutting stuff right now, but they want to make sure you have to have that baby, that they're not going to give you anything unless you're destitute. You got to give up everything to get an assistance. So at the end of the day, I hear you, but I applaud all of them for doing what's best for them. And out of respect, do your thing.
Right.
I love it. You like it? I love it.
Yeah.
That's real right there.
And we hope y'all in the comments took something from each one of these ladies that have joined me on this panel today. My girls here, Ro, Angela, Rikay, Simone, all of my girls here on this panel with me today have given some knowledge to each and especially me giving my point too. So special thanks to my ladies. And I hope you all took something from this, young girls that are out here watching. Young girls, you are enough. You are whole. Love your brown, beautiful skin and your curly hair, all of that. Remember, you ladies seen it. I just did an interview with Cherry Johnson. And she was saying the same thing. Her daughter wanted to straighten her hair. So these young girls are listening and watching us. They're watching us, every one of us. So teach them to embrace the natural beauty that God has given them, their hair, all of that, and so much more. It's a beautiful thing, embracing who you are and living in your truth and being your authentic self, because you are the best version of yourself. So don't take away from that.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Yes.
I love this. Rikay says, I did too. I loved it too with all of you ladies. I felt like I was chatting with all of my girlfriends. It's long overdue. Yes.
We rotate.
Oh my goodness. So any final closing thoughts, ladies? What are your words that you want to give to young girls that are out here watching this panel? Because it's 5 of us. Rikay, it's not if I wish it would let me add 5.
Yeah, actually,
what is something
I was going to say, I'll say something and get off for good, and then you can bring her back so she can talk.
Yes.
Basically what she said, just continue to love who you are. Be yourself. Don't be ashamed for being who you are, who you were brought into this world to be. Embrace it. Love it. and just being your true self is going to get you so far in life. Not pretending to be someone else, just everything that you are, just do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. Do it. You can do it, and you will do it, and you will be successful, and everything that you desire you will get. And if you have to take a leap of faith, do it. That also is something that works, because I'm doing it right now. So, and it's not going to be easy, but if you just keep trying and you stay consistent and just be a good person and try to give back to others as well, you definitely will receive many, many blessings and major success. So
Absolutely.
that
Amen.
is what I have to say. You ladies have been wonderful and amazing. I have followed each and every one of you. Definitely would love to do this again. Stevie, you already know I'm always willing to do this. So yes, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'm gonna get off.
Nice meeting you virtually.
All right, nice meeting y'all.
It's great talking to you, girl.
Yeah.
Definitely. We've got the chat, so we'll keep in touch in the chat.
Okay.
All right. Make sure you guys follow our ladies up here on the panel. We're going to add Rickay back so she can give her final thoughts. And then we're going to let Ro and Ange give their thoughts. Oh my goodness, this was an amazing panel. And I hope that all of you took something from this panel today, with all of us giving our perspectives, points of view, walks of life, and so much more. All right. There we are. Hey, girl.
Hey.
All right. Closing thoughts. Closing thoughts. What advice would you? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Which one you
Yes, I
want
was
to say? Closing thoughts?
Something you would like to give to young girls that are watching, that have watched this panel with all 5 of us on here today.
love yourself. Love yourself.
What I want to say is
follow whatever dreams you have, all of them if
continue
you want
to push.
because I've literally
And
hit about
always
5 or
remember,
6 at this point in my
you
life.
can do
And I'm
anything
still trying to figure out what else I'm gonna
that
do.
your heart desires.
So I would say
But
love on
make
yourself.
sure
Don't limit yourself.
that you
Um,
don't
you
stop
know,
trying. If you
there's
fall,
phases in
get
our
your
life
ass back up.
that
You can do it again.
you know, we just have to go through, and it's
Because
beauty
it's
in the
called
journey.
lessons learned.
As much as
Once
it
you
may
learn
seem
the
like it's
lesson,
horrible
you'll
right
figure
now,
out
you're gonna look
something
back
else.
and say, you know what,
But
I had a
don't
bunch of fun.
stop.
I learned a lot.
Continue
It's
to
always
push.
something in all of our
And remember to
experiences
tell yourself,
that
I
helps
love
us
me.
throughout this
You
life and helps
love
somebody else
God.
too.
I
So just
love
know
me.
that
So say
who
you
you are
love
right
you.
now is
And
enough.
continue to
What
be
you're
the
going through
best you
right
can
now
be.
is
And just watch
destiny,
it.
and it's
Continue
meant
to
to
love
be,
on every
and
level.
it's meant for you to get through.
Karma's a beast, so don't let it happen to you. Mm.
All right.
Did y'all playing that?
They both went at the same
I know they were
time.
both giving the same message, different words, but at the same time. I was like, okay.
Yes,
I'm gonna let
y'all both went at the same time, and y'all
y'all
both
both
gave
were talking
y'all.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
Are
And it
you
was funny
serious?
because you could hear
Because
both.
I see her thing spinning.
Oh, that's why. No, both of you were going simultaneously, and it was almost the same words or the same
No!
message at the same time. That's why I was like, I'm just smiling.
Get out! Yeah, all I see is the spinning right now. I'm like, where Angela at? Hey, girl. Well, tell
I
us.
can't even see it on my screen though.
Somebody said it was so confused.
Me too. I'm confused now.
And somebody said it was a remix, so it's
Simone, I still see Simone in my picture.
Oh.
So y'all telling me that Roque was talking the same
Yeah.
time?
both of y'all were talking at the
Y'all
same
both
time.
were
So
talking at the same
Stevie and
time.
I were like this.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to
When you
we're
see
gonna
it back,
do a rewind, 'cause
it actually was pretty nice. That's why I said it. But anyway.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna give mine. For me, is what I said before. Ladies, you are owning this life. You are not renting. So whatever choices you make are yours to make. If it's a mistake, let you make the decision of making that mistake. I also want to say there are no limits. You know, we put limits. The world will put limits on us, but we cannot put limits on ourselves because the only thing standing in your way is you. Um, acting didn't come for me until I believed I could do it. And I didn't got kicked out of plenty of classes. So I'm just saying that whatever it is you want to do, go for it. And don't let anybody tell you what you can't do, because the moment you listen to that, then you can't do it. So remember, if anybody's going to stop you, let it be you.
Yep.
And my final thoughts to young Black women that are watching, all of us up here on this panel, is just be bold in your approach on business. On my vision board for 2023, I put dare to be you, dare to take chances, dare to stand out. Go into 2023 or any year with a bold mindset and command that room. It can be a room full of men and you can be the only woman there, but you command that room. You own it, and you own who you are authentically with your natural hair and your chocolate skin or whatever melanin that you're in. Embrace it, own it, and be unapologetic about being a Black woman, because we're unapologetic about being Black women. And that's my final thought. All right, Fashion Dolls, this was an amazing panel with my girls. So special thanks to Ro, Angela, Ricky, and Simone. Ladies, this was awesome. We definitely have to do this again in the future.
I'm just glad I made it.
Me too. It was
Maybe
excellent.
we do a Zoom, link it. Maybe we do a Zoom and then link it. Stevie, did you talk to the person?
Oh,
did you
not
talk
yet.
to the person?
I definitely will, because he needs to add all. I would love to see all 5 of us on the panel together. That would be great.
Yes. Yes. Please don't forget to
Definitely.
reach out.
The replay will be up. Make sure you guys follow all of these ladies. Support Black-owned businesses. Support their brands and everything that they're doing. And we're going to probably work out another panel, so where we might have 6 women this time. Who knows? So
Multiplication.
Yes, if these ladies' schedules will allow it to fit in, we'll chop it up and see. But we hope you took something from this conversation, so you understand what all of these things. Oh, StreamYard, yes.
Yes.
Definitely
Yes.
look into that, check out that, and then check out what Ange sent me as well, too. So we want you all to stay informed on colorism and so many topics. And thank you all for tuning into this amazing episode of Girl Let's Talk When Black Women Speak. We just revived it going into the new year. So thank you all so much for tuning in today, and follow my girls. And tomorrow, joining me, we have actor Terrence Dodd from BET's Family Business. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. on Style by Stevie. I love you ladies all, and you all are amazing. You all are stunning. You all are fabulous, and so much more. And I have the pleasure of sitting with all of my girls here today. So thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. You guys be safe, and this replay will be up. And make sure you guys head on over and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime. The women's panel will be up there. And also make sure you follow our girl Simone too down there. She said we can do StreamYard. Y'all make sure y'all go and check out the Drip Entertainment, which is Simone's company, Rique's brand Fashionista, and Angela's Miss T May's Sauce. Definitely. I can't give away what's in it. She's responsible for that. But you guys make sure y'all go do that. And go check out Power Book 3 Raising King with our girl Rope Underwood as well.
Check me out on Sprung. That's my comedy. Sprung on Freevee. Used to be IMDb TV, but it's on Freevee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play Diamond, episode 6.
All right.
Okay.
Y'all better go and check it out and support it. Check out all of these Black businesses of these ladies and follow them. Thank you, ladies, again so much for this amazing conversation.
Yes.
Definitely got to be. Take care, everyone.
Bye,
See you
ladies.
tomorrow at 4. Take care.